Hello and welcome to episode 26 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of May 2nd, 2015. I am your dispatcher, as always, Ellis, otherwise known as Train Man. With me, I have my engineers, Wiebold, Milky, and our new engineer, full-time, Jacob Durbin, otherwise known as JDur, for the purposes of...
I have been promoted.
He has been promoted.
TJ?
TJ is, as many railroad stories end, he tumbled down an embankment.
Or got blown off a bridge.
But he'll be back.
He'll
He'll be back as a brakeman from time to time, I'm sure. He's just been consumed with school as of late. And
Yeah. Which I think we're all really excited for summer to come, which will also bring the termination of school.
Yeah.
Speaking of things terminating, the train will terminate at this station.
At this station.
Okay, this week we are at North Platte Yard in Nebraska. This is Union Pacific's largest yard, or is it second largest behind Bailey?
This is Bailey.
This is Bailey. Okay. Hush up.
Damn.
Hush up.
You had one job, Wiebold.
Hush up. Well, to be fair, I just now got the camera, but this is North Platte Yard. Wait, does it have two names? We don't know, but we have a camera that's slowly spinning around, and it's quite pretty.
I'm dizzy.
Yep.
Dizzy.
Extreme pressure land.
Dizziness is not good.
Whoever did that, good job. Anyways, we are on the new format of the Terminus podcast, although it may not seem that much different to you guys. Hopefully things will flow a little better than they did
Hopefully
before.
we've just re-streamlined it to skip over a lot of the stuff that we were told was boring and is frankly tedious.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we can shuffle around a little bit more. It isn't so broken up into segments.
We're more freeform. There's this new fangled thing that the hip kids are trying. It's called the
Marijuana.
Freeform. No, not that.
It's called the bound.
Deregulation, guys.
Waka flocka. Right. But let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna go straight into what
Right.
was assigned jurisdictions type deals.
Now it's just called 12 inches to the foot. It encompasses everything that sits on real rails.
Whoa!
Oh.
But firstly, Waka Flocka for president, 2016.
Oh! Whoa! The camera just zoomed out.
Yeah. First thing I've got to say is, God damn it, National Park Service, their website was down, so I can't get anything on the information for Steamtown.
Thanks, Obama.
Needless to say, they aren't running any steam. So, that's that.
And you should give them some.
We should give them...
Give me steam!
No, we can go off of, we can jump off the damn National Park Service bandwagon, but there's a whole giant government article, or not government article, but article talking about the government and Amtrak and all sorts of things like that. And I read it about 2 weeks ago when it came out, and then didn't reread it again. Which would have been great if I'd gone ahead and reread it for the podcast, but I forgot I had it. So,
Well,
I'll read it aloud right now. No. It was
It'd be like a 2-hour podcast.
The whole
But not
thing,
the foot ones.
as much as people among us like to rag on Nixon, one of the
yeah,
things...
Milky.
I know.
Of course it was
I
Milky.
kind of think so.
No. Goddamn it, TBA.
Milky also crashed the potato truck. And blew up the Silverton station.
And the beat truck.
And the beat truck. God, Beats by Dr.
What? And was responsible for the entire wheel ground abandonment.
You know Amtrak was originally
INSA.
called Rail Packs?
Rail packs?
Yeah, Rail
What?
Packs.
Is that with an X by any
Yes,
chance?
it is.
Ah, sigh.
It was the original Amtrak, and it was, 1970 Nixon administration did a massive favor for freight rail companies by relieving them of their long-standing mandate to offer passenger service.
And they've been
yeah.
before
Although,
you.
something interesting on that note, actually, that I learned just the other day, I didn't know railroads had the option to, if you will, opt out of Amtrak. Like,
yeah,
when the whole
they
thing
could have. They could
when
have
the whole
run on
thing
their
started,
own.
they didn't have to give up their passenger service, and some of them didn't want to. Like, Rio Grande kept their passenger service going privately until the 80s.
Oh yeah, they absolutely didn't have to submit to. They didn't have to become Amtrak. It was just
The Armtark.
at that time,
Amtrak.
and even now, we've talked about it on the podcast before. Long distance passenger rail is dreadfully unprofitable.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
But
It's only the local stuff that really makes,
Any sort of money.
yeah, as far as passengers go anyway.
Yeah.
With freight, it's quite the opposite.
With freight, if you're making such a short distance like that, you might as well use a truck most of the time.
Yeah, except for emissions.
That was something we were, last.
Yeah.
That. That's something.
Last podcast, viewers, consider yourself lucky I wasn't here for that segment on the last podcast.
That's the thing That's the thing you can be damning Nixon for.
Yeah.
Although again, I talked about it a little bit. He took a bunch of policies that were in effect and combined them together and created the national parks and the EPA and
It was like
his sort of idea.
it was like the cheese fondue of government policy.
Jesus.
Okay.
I recall
All right.
reading somewhere that his motivation for that was like when he was younger, he wasn't in a well-endowed family and he couldn't, go on these really nice vacations. So he wanted to make it so that there would always be these parks, these places to go, and they'd be free and stuff like that.
For free!
For free, open space, that kind of thing,
yeah.
fresh air.
Yeah.
Anyways, the thing about Nixon administration did a great favor, said, hey, freight companies, you don't have to offer passenger service anymore, we'll take care of it. And so they created rail packs, Amtrak, and it was designed as a for-profit corporation, as we know, and never got anywhere near the black, even to this day. Now, this is a long...
It has never done anything profitable.
And this is about a lot of different... they touch on the Ohio thing, actually. The Ohio Republican governor saying... what is it? Oh, yeah. John Kasich?
Jacob Jingleheimer
Kas-
Schmidt?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
John Kasich.
Kasich.
Kasich. John Kasich.
Hang on. Oh,
What?
Kasich.
Yeah.
I thought you said Kasich.
That's not
Come
I mean,
on,
He's
I
got
mean,
the
that's
gay
not wrong.
flu.
Oh,
I mean,
I've
that's
got a
not
fever,
wrong.
and the only prescription.
There's more evolution of dance.
Oh, we're
you know,
awful.
Anyways, the Ohio governor giving back the money and stuff like that, and it talks a lot about a lot of stuff, and it's quite a read. It's quite a long read, as a matter of fact, but it's the kind of thing where it gives you another angle, and it gives you a lot of insight into what's going on, behind the face of Amtrak and in the government involving Amtrak. So you kind of know what to look for. From us outside looking in, especially as rail fans, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? It's we don't get a lot of what's going on behind the scenes. I'm sure.
Thanks, Obama.
And so we just sit here and say thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
At least I do.
Thanks, Nixon.
Whenever the Late Shore Limited is the Late Shore Limited.
Thanks, Washington.
Or when Grand Central Station irradiates you to death.
Wait, what? Hang on.
What?
Didn't we talk about this last 2 minutes?
No, we didn't.
Oh?
No.
Grand
we did.
Central Station, the stone they built Grand Central Station out of, the granite, has a not dangerously. Wow, I'm echoing. But
I was gonna say the
abnormally,
NSA is trying to keep you from saying it.
but abnormally high concentration of radioactive material. Essentially, nothing's gonna happen to an average commuter. But if you hung out in the station for a year, I think you get Not you get anything,
AIDS.
but that's like you get your
You get AIDS.
annual dose. It's worth noting that if Grand Central Station were a nuclear power plant, it would be shut down for exceeding the maximum allowable annual dose of radiation for employees. That being said, it's not actually a dangerous place. When you go there, you're probably more likely to be felled by an oyster than radiation.
Okay.
Great. I was gonna say this. The thing not to be scared of around Grand Central isn't being irradiated; it's being mugged or hit by a train,
Wow.
getting silver
Being mugged.
streaked,
Why-
What the heck?
silver
Wiebold?
struck.
Oh yeah.
Silver
Two
struck.
stupids for Wiebold.
Why?
Alright, one.
Hey, why?
You had one because you flubbed the intro.
Oh,
Anyways,
Baileyard is Baileyard. Thank you.
it talks about how radon and U-238, I think, yeah, uranium-238, radon-222, stuff like that. That's in the walls of Grand Central Station. But
great.
Damn
know-
it, Wiebold.
unless you normally work in an irradiated zone and then you come to Grand Central Station and this is the straw that breaks the camel's back.
So, if you're a commuter that commutes through Grand Central to work at a nuclear power plant, you're
You're in trouble.
well. Use the bus.
Yeah, take the bus.
Take the bus.
No, take the freight train. It's very safer.
Jump
the
and
freight.
jump a freight.
Jump freight.
Oh wait, they don't have that there.
What? Well, there aren't a lot of freight trains in New York City. That's true.
Yeah.
They really
Yeah.
They really aren't.
Yeah.
We've got barges.
Ooh.
Barge.
We've got a lot of subways though.
Granville.
I believe the New York City subway system is the most complex in the world.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, it's not the longest, but
I'd say either that or London is probably the most.
London is fairly complicated as well. There were 3 different categories of, most expansive or something like that, and it was longest, it was most complex, and I think it was, I don't know, either
Oldest, maybe?
number of stations, number of lines, what?
Oldest, maybe?
Oldest maybe, but I'm not sure that was what they were getting at in the thing. I was reading a thing and it was London was on top of one category, New York was on top of another one, and I think like Tokyo or Hong Kong or something was some far eastern city was on top of the 3rd category, and I don't remember what that category was. But I managed to find, or not like I was snooping for it, but I came upon a site with all sorts of New York City maps, or New York City subway maps, and it's actual track maps, as opposed to, what you normally see, which is the blue line and the green line, the one train, and stuff like that. This is the actual, you can see where tracks cross over, you can see where tracks dead end, upper and lower levels of stations. It's all colored and everything, and it sent me on, I would find a station and it would have, dead-end tracks leading off of it, right? And I'd go, okay, I'm gonna look up this station and see if I can get any information about what those tracks were supposed to do.
Yeah.
I did a lot of spontaneous research about stuff. What are you typing out?
Huh?
Never mind. What is this? Oh yeah, I've got a couple of pieces of actual news here. That's the Japanese, the maglev breaking the world record twice in a week, right after the last Terminus. It hit 374 miles per hour.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Near Mount Fuji. It notes in the article. So,
Woo.
And in my wall.
however, passengers will not get to experience the maglev's record-breaking speeds because the company said its trains will operate at a maximum of 505 kilometers per hour, as opposed to the 603.
So it's another 50 miles an hour slower-ish? Another 50, 75 slower?
I guess so, yeah. It's pretty crazy. It was fast. Needless to say, it was very, very fast.
Speed.
There was a video of it somewhere, just sort of. Oh, that. I was going to play the video on this page, but it doesn't work. And we also have the other video, the other end of the spectrum, from faster-moving passenger to slow-moving freight that gets downed by wind.
Oh, yeah, out of Nolans.
Yeah. In Nolans, they had the
Nolans.
Big
the train
easy.
get knocked over by the strong winds off the bridge.
If you haven't seen this video, it is insane. Look at it.
I'm showing them.
It's like-
I'm showing right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And over it goes.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Snapped through the electrical lines.
Luckily, only like 3 cars went over with it.
Yeah.
But
and they were all empties.
yeah, that's the only reason they got blown over is they're empty double stacks.
They acted just like a sail.
Yeah.
Sail.
Sail.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
May I ask, why do I have a point?
Why do you have a point?
For being mean.
What did I do?
Leave it.
Thank you.
For being disagreeable.
Anyways.
Leave it. Okay.
Anyways,
No,
And
oh God,
afternoon
what is
fire
that?
uptown is forced.
What the hell was that?
I
Anyways,
had to say.
Was what?
the page with the train getting blown over started playing another video.
Oh.
Anyways,
So annoying.
It's like, this is copyright infringement. This is copyright infringement.
other
The
video.
NSA is after
We
us.
have the Have Steam Engine Will Travel documentary about the Gremlings, which are the guys from Have Engine Will Travel.
Wow.
The father and son duo who are all over the country right now. They've got Hank in Owasso, Michigan. He'll be there for a while. They have in Winsboro, South Carolina Railroad Museum. They have an engine right now that's Sadie, I believe. And after that, she's going to leave on May 12th, and she's going to arrive in Wakersville, Maryland, on the Wakersville Southern Railroad on May 16th. So if you're in the area, you want to ride behind a genuine steam locomotive.
100% genuine, authentic, 10 out of 10. Would ride again.
Exactly.
Try the veal.
Try the veal. Don't have the fish.
No, have the fish.
And
Just don't
remember,
have the chicken.
and remember, on May 22nd, there is the
It
on
is
the
May
Black River
22nd.
Railroad. There's the comedy night. So I'm not sure if tickets are sold out for that yet, but it's something to look into.
Ooh.
Remember,
Oh, yeah, with the-
not for children. This is
Comedy night on.
Ooh.
yeah.
Neither is this podcast.
Yeah, so don't bring your kids, people.
Raymond the Amish comic.
Raymond the Amish comic.
Yeah,
God.
that's who's.
What is the deal with stagecoach food? That's
Wow.
my impression of an Amish comedian. I'm sorry, Amish.
Why,
Although you're
Wolf?
probably not listening.
I really would be surprised. Maybe
If
they're.
you are listening, then shame on you.
Shimon, you've abandoned your way
Build a
of.
cabinet or something.
You've abandoned your way of life.
That is awful. I'm sorry.
No, I shouldn't. Yeah, I can't. Damn it.
Anyways, somebody pick it up from here. I've run out of things to say.
Okay. Well, you've run out of words. I've only got a few words, so I'll go, I guess. The conversion token. The conversion Toltec scenic. Why do I have 2 points now?
They're token, all right. 420,
For derping up the intro and then making fun of the Amish.
Okay, that's fair, actually. I'll leave that there then. The conversion
This
Toltec
episode.
scenic.
This
No,
episode,
yeah,
Wiebold is a terrible person.
Yeah. Well, the Conversion Celtic Scenic opens on May 23rd of this year. They'll be operating their full service for the summer through, I believe, October. The San Luis and Rio Grande has a new website, which I actually have yet to see. I will do that right now. Yeah, we're always prepared here on the Terminus podcast.
Of course.
I already demonstrated that I was super prepared when I realized I hadn't read that article in 2 weeks.
Yeah, well,
Well, I feel
You know.
very professional here.
That could have been quite a discussion topic if I'd remembered and told all of us to read it.
well,
I
You know.
probably would have forgot.
yeah. Their website looks more or less the same. It's a little bit more refined, a little bit, cooler looking. It's very not train geared. It's presented a lot like the website for what is it? the North American Orient Express, and that they advertise most of their dinner trains and their band trains. By the way, John Denver concert coming up on not the San Luis and Rio Grande, actually, coming up on the Conversion Toltec. Back to them. And then also the Colorado Railroad Museum has recently steamed up 346 for the season.
Whoop, whoop.
It has a beautiful new bear trap spark ruster that I think it had during the winter as well, but it's got a beautiful bear trap spark arrestor.
Don't get your foot caught on it, though.
Yeah, but 491 hopefully will be up and running later this season. They still have to de-asbesticize, I believe, and then put the boiler jacketing on, and the tender is also getting a doghouse.
Woo!
So, yeah.
Race for the cure.
Doghouse. Doge house.
Doge house. I'm looking at Doge right now. Doge, would you want to be in there? He responds to Doge now.
Does he really?
He does.
That's
Doge?
probably not a good thing.
Yeah, well. Anyway. Well, he'd probably respond to Marco if I... Marco?
And now your sister's doing it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Polo.
Yeah, he kind of responds to Marco, more or less. Anyway, that's all I've got.
All right, JDur.
Okay, so sort of going back to what else, Bailey Yard, Bellevue Yard, NS has a massive hump yard up in Bellevue, and according to their site, it's the second largest classification yard in the U.S.
Whoa.
Yeah, look out, Dream Crushers, I'm a-coming.
Are they expanding?
I
It's
think so.
expanding!
They're either expanding or they're already done.
If they were expanding, what if they were just like, you know how there was like the years of one-uppage where we're gonna build a higher skyscraper. Now it's like we're gonna build a bigger yard.
Yeah.
You built a big ship.
But I've seen this yard a couple times, and oh my god, it's a huge yard. Like, wow.
Big yard.
Yeah. I wish I had
But there's that,
I wish I had
and
the
then-
ability to sort of wander around in Selkirk. Because that's a yard.
Yeah. That is a yard.
That's a hell of a yard.
I've got a yard.
You got a yard?
Got grass and rocks and trees.
I've got a yard too.
I have, yeah, I have a yard. I also have a T1.
You almost
'Cause
have a
the,
T1?
For lying!
Well, sort of.
Yeah, I'd like
the
to hear
Midwest
this.
Railway
I'd like to hear this little asterisk next to you almost have a T1.
Why do I have 3?
Because one for confusing Bellevue Yard with Bailey Yard, and another one for lying about a T1.
He hasn't completed his asterisk yet.
Well, then
Okay.
complete it.
Alright, so last time I was on the podcast as replacement TJ, I explained that the Midwest Railway Preservation
Wait, what do you mean? You weren't on the podcast last time. Only TJ was.
Wiebold.
4.
No. We've got to stop this.
Okay,
This madness.
Well, again with the
Stop.
one-upping.
Okay. But last time on the podcast, I explained that the Reading 2100 was, it had been acquired by the Midwest Railway Preservation Society, and they were shipping it over to Cleveland. And according to a Facebook page, they're prepping the stall that it'll go in,
Woohoo.
fixing broken rails, cleaning.
Where's it going?
The Midwest Railway Preservation Society,
Where's that?
Cleveland.
It's in the Midwest.
Thank you, Wiebold.
Oh shit. It's in Cleveland.
And they
Their
also
website is very outdated.
It's in Cleveland?
Yeah.
I know where I'm going to visit. I'm going to be in
Yeah.
Cleveland this summer.
It's literally, you have,
Where are you not going to be this summer? You're gonna visit all 3 of us. You're gonna be in Oregon, Colorado, and Ohio.
Yeah,
Well,
except I don't think I'm going to be seeing JDur.
yeah.
I won't be in
I
Utah.
mean, if you went to the Age of Cimarron house at the same time as me, then that'd be fantastic.
You won't be in Utah or California,
California.
or Texas.
Or New Jersey.
Well,
Jazzy.
That's where the Amish comic will be.
I don't think I want to be in New Jersey, frankly.
But,
God let me
Yeah.
wind up anywhere except for politics in New Jersey. Or politics in New Jersey. That's especially bad.
Yeah, and then the Lebanon Mason Moreau, Hocking Valley, they're running their excursion stuff. And then the Ohio Railway Museum opens May 3rd, the day this comes out.
Woohoo!
The museum / scrapyard.
Yeah, that's Steamtown as well.
Yeah.
I know how that is.
That's Port Tillamook Bay right now.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Fort Tillamook Bay isn't as bad.
Well, they got Mother Nature to, kind of.
They've got a lot of rain though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
These guys just don't have money.
Who does?
The
I-
Ohio Railway Museum, they don't
speaking
have
of-
money.
Speaking of money, I was in a talent show on Monday.
Mhm.
I know I told you guys this story, but I'm just telling it for the podcast's sake.
I've never been told this
Oh,
story.
you weren't?
I
was telling it to the group at some point. Anyways, I was in the talent show and I had to sing, or I didn't have to, but I chose to sing 2 Bruce Springsteen songs. And if there were judges at the end, it was set up like American Idol it was called Rensselaer's Got Talent. Anyways, they asked me when I signed up what charity I wanted the $500 to be done, or it was originally $500. I think it was more because we got more people than we expected. What I wanted the proceeds to be donated to when if I were to win, it was, and I said the T1 Trust. And then I realized, or I was told, my friend Donna, who was one of the people running it, she emails me back and goes, "What is the T1 Trust? Please explain this to me."
It is not a charity.
So I just gave her like it's a non-profit organization. I knew I wasn't gonna win anyway, so it was just sort of.
If it was a non-profit, why didn't you give it to the Nebula?
What?
If you could give it to any non-profit, why didn't you give it to Nebula?
Because we get funding through the student union.
Oh.
Also,
Wait, you have a union now?
we've always had a student union.
No, Els, you should have given the money to the Nebula so they can buy actual Hudsons and actual Pacifics.
Yeah,
Actual Pacifics it would be.
actual Pacific, so they don't have to neuter any more Hudsons.
Yeah.
But
You're despicable people if you're listening to this.
my friend, she goes, please explain this to me. And so I was really busy and I gave her like a rough rundown and I sent her the link to the webpage. And then later I realized the reason I had to explain it is because the person who was hosting the event had to explain it before I came out. And it was like, I was standing there backstage and she's sort of stumbling through. She to her credit,
build a new locomotive.
For someone who really didn't understand what was going on, she did okay. It was the basic idea that this money is going towards a steam locomotive. And in my explanation to my friend later, afterwards, when, I had the time and I could explain what I meant by the T1 Trust and what they were about, I ended up having to explain what Penn Central was and why it was such a bad idea. And ended off with Conrail and the pros and cons of Conrail.
Well, it's in the name, Conrail.
Yeah, it's literally all cons.
Rail.
Penn Central, on the other hand, had pros.
No, not really.
Not very many.
And what pros
I mean,
they did
maybe
have,
like
half of
one
those,
because their logos were Brunswick green.
half of those pros were New York Central and half of them were PRR, and they all hated one another.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't remember which command staff it was, but like right after Penn Central was formed, almost the whole command staff of one of the railroads just sort of said F this and left. And so
I'm gonna say it's New Haven because
it wasn't New Haven. It wasn't New Haven. New Haven was already in as much trouble as it could get. But it was either because New York Central at the time was comprised of a lot of young guys running the company, compared to the PRR at the time comprised of a lot of really old guys running the company.
Ooh.
And you can obviously tell the difference in management styles. Of course, the PRR was a lot more nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to keep their engines around or representatives of their fleet, New York Central was like, scrap it. Scrap it to get diesels. We can make money this way.
And that's why New York Central has very, very few survivors.
Yeah, except for the Mexicans.
Them too.
The Mexicans have all the New York Central survivors. Negra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a Hudson.
They have a Hudson, but it's a main Central Hudson.
Still a
Who
Hudson.
cares?
I didn't even know they had Hudsons. I don't know what use they'd have for Hudsons.
It's so close.
It's Main Central. They can cover their 3-mile branch lines faster.
Hey, Main Central had a lot of track. The reason they had a lot of track is because they were weaving through the Appalachians, or whatever.
The Appalachians.
In the middle of nowhere.
The Appalachians. That's right.
The Allegheny.
Through the northern Appalachian Mountains in Maine.
For those of you who don't understand that joke, there
Which
was
is
a few
everyone.
weeks ago on my... What?
Which is everyone watching this podcast.
Yeah, which is going to be everyone really... A few weeks ago in my government class, somebody was presenting something on the Appalachians and mentioned Allegheny in it, and they pronounced it Appalachians and Allegheny. And I'm sitting there in agony the entire time.
Politicians.
Politicians. That was appalling.
How did I get?
2.5 points. Wait, Milky, why do you have one?
I don't
What
know.
did Milky
Penn
do?
Central was any good.
Okay, that's fair. Speaking of Milky, take the torch. Go, conversation, talk.
Asterisks.
Okay.
Can I have 2 now?
No.
'Cause I-
No.
No, because you still lied.
But
I'm
one
gonna
night,
get T1, but not a Pensy T1.
You does not equal Ohio.
What?
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Okay,
It's
Ohio is getting a Reading T1 is different than I'm getting a T1, which implies a different T1.
yes,
And then
especially on
fight-
this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Alright,
Also-
Milky, do your thing.
Also, with Rhode Island, it is permissible. With Ohio is large enough that it is not permissible.
Yeah.
If I said
no, Rhode Island doesn't have room for a T1.
yeah, we don't. It would stick out both ends of the state. Anyways, continue, Milky.
119. No. Why did I say 119 again? Next time I've screwed it up.
What are you doing?
819. 819 needs help.
JDur is making unspeakable noises.
They need
No one's grumbling because Milky screwed it up.
twice.
Slap.
Alright.
Why would I
Go.
see you go to that point? But
Anyways, go.
It wouldn't be bad
They
if
need
119 wasn't a
volunteers.
completely different...
they pretty much need more volunteers to help. And money and everything.
Well,
6
don't they all?
Yeah, doesn't everyone need real help and money?
I need somebody to lean on.
To loan from.
I need somebody help.
6 7.
Anybody help.
Drain
Exactly.
cash from a brother.
If you need some dough.
We all need somebody to loan from.
Hashtag college.
Whoa.
Anyways,
I would say speaking of college, but six
I'm
six
trying here.
their compressors have been installed,
yay,
Whoa.
and tender. I shall we tender paint.
they've got less
Tender
than,
dooring.
They've got less than 30. Oh yeah, this is right. That's right.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
garage
so-
door on the back of the tender.
Oh wait, did I get a response to that? I asked on their Facebook page, the picture, what is the garage door thingy for?
Oh no.
Did I get a reply? No.
And the progress.
What is this?
What's what?
This Reddit post.
What? Oh, that was
of-
me.
What is this?
That was me.
Mildly penis. What?
It's things
Jesus
that happen
Christ.
to look like,
Wow.
Okay. Oh,
You're
it is.
so mature.
You have two, aren't we all?
Jeez.
Yeah, well, so professional. On
It's
this
not
one.
the first time I've slipped a random Reddit link into things that we've been working on.
Well, yeah, but it's the first time.
If you go back in, a lot of them have been taken off older podcasts, of course. But if you go back in some of the episodes we've written, there are a few, and just a few links to random stuff.
Speaking of links to random stuff, Oregon World Heritage Foundation has posted on their Facebook page tons of updates.
Tons.
A metric train loads full of updates.
Jesus. Okay, what are they about? Is it Steam?
4449, 700, and 197, and the PA. In particular, we talked about.
And the PA. Well, at least the PA is getting some love. I know the
Yeah.
Steam engines typically do, but
The PA not really.
yeah.
You'd be surprised how it's been put on the back burner for 4449
Yeah,
pretty much.
I can tell.
But-
you don't hear much about the PA.
They're almost done with 4449's 15U inspection,
Oh, well, that's good.
and they should have it powered up in September. So,
Ooh.
might make
Dude,
it
are
small.
you still looking at that Reddit thing?
No.
His cursor is still on it, that's
I
why.
was gonna say, I think he is.
No.
New super heaters are being fabricated off-site.
Shut up.
The boiler tubes that were removed
These
are
are
being
tubes.
put back in. And the funnel is being refurbished back to original spec and being reinstalled. Work continues on the firebox. And that's pretty much 4449 in a nutshell at the moment.
Make sure the throttle has the pan!
The pan! Where?
There!
Oh no!
Oh no! Do they
Oh.
actually have those lines? I've never noticed them
Yeah,
say
they do.
anything except for "Oh
No, they
Yeah, they
have
got-
it. They have it when they're like going down the super steep incline and they're like floating in midair. The pin
Yeah.
sort of floats up from the grate.
no!" The dude swallows it
Yeah. The pan!
before the other guy slams him with a shovel.
Yeah.
And then it lands in the ice.
And then he uses the hairpin off the dude's hair.
Yeah.
I mean, that works.
He goes from like just dude with long hair to
This is Polar Express. If you guys can't get
Just
that,
Sasquatch.
I hope they get it.
No,
I really hope
he goes
they
from
do, but
fireman to Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Urgh.
Sasquatch.
Or Sofia Vergara. Anyway,
Wow.
Sasquatch.
Speaking of that,
Sasquatch.
700, after operating Prodigy for 3 weeks, pulling a halt.
speaking of Sofia Vergara, hang on.
You're
I
bad.
don't care if I take a point for this, but I'm calling that segue. That has nothing to do with anything.
It doesn't.
No, not really.
I just wanted to move on with my railroading career. Come on. No, I don't have.
Your railroading career.
I wanted to get my stories back on track from this derailment. From this off track.
Just go. Before I give you a point for the puns.
I'm on it.
No.
The-
Oh,
700 has its own FRA 15-year inspection coming up later this year. So, have fun. We're not going to do it for a while. Operating anyways. 197 has been, for the past 15 or so years, painstakingly being restored to operating condition. So it's being restored.
They're
But
working on it.
primarily the reason why it's taking so long is lack of volunteers.
They always need them.
Because most of the volunteers care about the big freight forwards and kind of push the Pacific off to the side.
Unless,
well, to be fair.
unless, of course, it's a really big Pacific, in which case the reason you can't do anything is because everybody's broke.
But
Steamtown.
guys
Thanks,
do.
Nixon.
Thanks. Well,
Thanks, Obama.
without Nixon, I don't think we'd have Steamtown.
Oh.
Or at least where it is. Yeah.
Speaking of stuff being where it is, running boards and hand wheels have been installed back onto the locomotive.
Okay, do you understand the concept of a segue?
No, that wasn't bad.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
give myself a point for that then.
Things where they are. You know, something was where it is, and these are back where they belong on the engine.
Okay, I didn't catch that one.
Good job, Milky.
I analyzed it.
I'm sorry, Milky.
I honestly
Okay.
analyzed it ahead of time, expecting you to call him out on it. I was like,
God damn
is
it,
this going to be
Wiebold.
bad?
No.
I'm
Right.
sorry, Milky. I need to not doubt you.
Good. Well,
Alright. Go.
is there anything left?
The awkward silence that ensues after I say doubt Milky.
Oh, doubt Milky because I think he dropped from the call.
Uh-oh.
Is he dead?
He died.
He died. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
We need some
Well,
filler.
Cause this is filler.
Cows go
Filling
moo.
up the time.
You know what? During all this, I should have sat down and read the article again so that we would have had worthwhile filler. Worthwhile educational, like, filler that you can think on.
I feel this
Yeah.
We
up.
can have discussions on.
Well, when Milky gets back, we'll advance to a segment that we've all been looking forward to.
But don't
Which
say
I'm not
it yet.
going. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. And JDur, when it comes to that, that's my job.
It is.
Okay.
Maybe Wiebold has more than one job.
Whoa.
Milky back? No.
Nope.
No, he's not.
Mookie is dead.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Well, welcome
Look at
to
the
the
camera.
Terminus automated filler line.
Yeah, no, I will be all over the country this summer.
Mm.
It's going to be pretty great.
Should totally
You've been
come visit.
every-
But
Everywhere,
unfortunately, I will be doing almost none of it by train.
Yeah.
I'm getting home.
We'll see trains out here. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, no. But my point is, I'm not traveling anywhere on them.
Cold.
The only place I'm traveling somewhere on a train is just around Train Mountain,
Yeah, well,
which isn't bad. But
that and they have full scale equipment.
yeah, I'm not going to be going too far on that though.
I'm just watching the camera.
Like 39 miles, you can get across Rhode Island.
I should check that.
I know. Now I'm curious. I started that out as I'm like kidding, but
But I'm not
I
sure if
wonder.
you're wrong.
That sounds right.
It was
how long? No, not that. How did I?
with
I
37
looked
miles.
up Rhode Island length, and it gives me 9:09 p.m. Okay.
With
Great.
Wiebold, the
What?
width of Rhode Island,
Is
37
how long?
miles.
Yes. So you can travel across Rhode Island by train. Summer.
God damn it.
That's fantastic. Like genuinely, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that might have made my day.
Also,
Uh,
our
that's dead.
height is only 48 miles. I'm
Hmm.
not sure if that counts Block Island though.
Well, the
So,
Block Island line is a
49.
mighty good road.
So 49 miles.
Actually,
then.
it's a
okay.
boat.
No. Didn't they have a bridge out to Block Island at
No.
one point?
No, they did not.
I thought they had a bridge there.
No.
Hi,
Block Island, I learned, is part of the end of the terminal.
Marco.
What?
Ow.
Ow. Yeah.
Trying to get Doge.
Oh God!
I've all.
I apologize to the
Sorry.
listeners for the ear rape.
Sorry.
Anyways, I learned that it is the end of the terminal moraine. That Block Island marks the farthest south the glaciers got, as does Long Island. It marks the end of a glacier.
Long Island.
Long Island.
Long Island Railroad.
Long Island Railroad is it's little less than profitable as well.
Hmm.
I'm not even sure if the subway system's profitable. That's a good question.
I feel like it might be.
I
Maybe.
type in, is the New York City subway, top thing is safe at night. Operating closed.
No.
Operating closed, open, safe.
Is it safe at night?
Operating
No.
closed, open, safe.
Well, I typed in to Google, is the New York City subway, and the autocompletes are safe at night, operating, closed, open, and safe.
Okay.
Is the New York City subway profitable?
No.
Um,
No.
The guy from Walking Dead had a tantrum on a New York subway, I guess. Because that is
Milky-
all I can find for news on it.
wow.
Milky.
I don't know what happened to Milky. Did his whole computer die? Is he still in the dock? He's still in the dock.
Yeah, his Skype died.
Is that what he said?
I think.
Hasn't said anything thus far.
I'm trying to re-add him to the call. I wonder if he crashed out.
Milky. Try to kick him from it. It's still trying to pick up on it.
No, I just tried to call him again. He was out.
Yeah.
He was all the way out.
Me, he's not.
Something.
Well,
I'm not finding, I'm not really finding anything here. I'd probably have to go into some city documents.
I'm gonna say.
well, this is riveting news.
Well, I'm trying to find things about the New York City subway system. So, this is news, alright. But as far as I know, it's not. I don't think it is.
It's
no,
not.
No, it's not. It's not.
Eh.
Not profitable. They've
Oh.
got a lot of, they have a lot of riders, but with the fare system as well, the way it is, which is good for the consumers, and with the enormous amount of infrastructure that they have to maintain, I'm not
Enormous.
completely surprised
Mm.
that it's not profitable.
Yeah.
People are always it's not set up as a private company like Amtrak is anyways. It is specifically the MTA, the Metropolitan Transit Authority, is specifically a government installation. When they consolidated all of the different subway companies that were running into New York and basically just tangling up the undercity and building elevated railways over everything.
Mm.
The fellow podcast.
Finally.
Yeah, welcome back.
Hey, Milky.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can move on to.
I had stuff to talk about before I died.
Yeah.
They've been doing some, I think, side wing stuff to the PA. I think. Not sure. I'm not really a big Alco guy, but when I'm in sure Charlie has tweets. There's some of the schedule if you want to check that out. Or you can coach Scenic, brand new steam engine from California.
What is it?
It's a Heister, I think.
It's a Heisler.
Yeah.
When someone says brand new steam engine, I don't envision people trading geared engines very often.
Every day I'm hustling.
Wow.
And they don't, in fact, have the standby me engine. That's why we got in Western 19. And
It's stored there. It's stored in the blimp hangar, isn't it?
the GP?
No, the Stand By Me engine, the Prairie.
No,
No?
that's number 25.
Oh, that's
So
right.
say,
and
wasn't
the other
the
one's
Stand By Me engine a Connie?
No, isn't the
Oh,
Stand By Me
it's
engine
not.
number 26?
No, it's number
that's
19.
the
Oh,
suicide.
it's number 19.
Stand By Me train.
26 is the suicidal
Let me look it
Virginia
up.
truck.
It's awful big to be a prairie.
Yep.
So it
But
very
yeah.
well might be.
I also found this out a few days ago. The last great train robbery in the U.S. was actually in Oregon.
Woo?
Whoa.
And a few people were killed during it.
No,
They were
it's,
robbing.
it's 25.
Odd.
Yeah.
Well then.
It's the 262, number 25.
Then I guess they do.
Well, okay, hold on.
What?
They used 2.
They used 2.
They used both 25 and 19. 19 is a Mikado.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the one I'm probably thinking of.
Yeah.
Well, the more you know, I guess.
Woo.
But pretty much some guy swabbed the train fittingly called the Gold Special.
I love gold!
You can assume what was in the baggage car
Letters.
by the name of that.
Baggage was
Yeah,
in the
baggage.
car.
Baggage.
Uh,
Ow.
No, swag was in the swaggage car.
Swaggage. Sweet swaggage.
Sweetie swag, what's in my bag?
So pretty much some guy swabbed the train full of gold on Siskiyou Pass, which I forgot when, but like yesterday I think I brought it up. Well, speaking of Siskiyou Pass,
What?
Central Oregon and Pacific is going to start one-lane trains over again
Yay.
because they repaired a few of the tunnels
Huh.
that collapsed. And now,
Ooh.
Yep.
Woo.
so now they can run trains to Northern California.
Whoa.
And that's all I have.
California.
Northern California from where?
Eugene, Oregon.
Oh, okay, that's great. Speaking of passes, real quick, want to take an aside to point out something cool that I learned or something interesting. So, Great Northern, I know, again, I discussed this with you guys, but saying it on the podcast, it's the kind of thing, I should just save it. But
Well.
Great Northern, when they built, the camera died on me, when they built their pass, I don't remember which one it was, though. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Either way, they built this pass, and it eventually fell to BNSF when that all happened. Lots of mergers eventually. Northern Pacific becomes BNSF. And they keep it tracked. Because when Great Northern made the agreement with the Forestry Service, the Forestry Service said, "Okay, you can have this, you can have this land to build your pass, but when you abandon it, restore it to the condition you found it in." So they don't abandon this line because they don't want to have to put the trees back. They don't want to have to, clear out the embankments and stuff. I'm not sure to what extent they meant by that, but it would probably be some sort of undertaking that BNSF doesn't feel like undertaking. So it's, no, we totally use that. Don't pay attention to all the grass and the rust.
And the lack of trains.
And the lack of trains.
It's just a slow day.
It's just a slow several decades.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Thanks, Obama.
I found something interesting real quick.
What?
Just looking for filler. I didn't stop looking for filler, unfortunately, but
That's fine.
recently, well, not really recently, but a group of people have found a locomotive wheel that was pulled out of the locomotive wheel. It was pulled out of the Sacramento River, and they're thinking that it's from the, where's the name of it? The J.G. Kellogg locomotive that fell into the Sacramento River from a barge in 1897 and was never pulled out.
Wait, Kellogg?
It's supposedly buried in the sand somewhere in the Sacramento River. And they found what looks to be a bogey wheel from about America. Yes.
Brand.
Well, Sacramento River in California, right?
Yes.
Well, just give it a little while. There won't be a river there.
That's, well,
I mean, you're not wrong.
it's interesting. I wonder if they found anything else on this one over time.
No, it's only there so it won't get fined.
Yeah.
So we don't get fined.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Is it now time for?
It's time for... We've got something interesting for you guys today.
Woo!
Oh yeah. We've been
This
waiting.
is the passion of the crackpots.
Whoa!
We have four corners, four very unusual locomotives, or otherwise completely useless locomotives. Four contestants that probably won't win because it's really all kind of arbitrary.
Because we all suck.
Because these are not engines that are destined for the main line. These are engines destined for the scrapyard.
Or
Yeah, well. Although, the criteria for Passion of the Crackpots, they have to be weird engines. However, how you win is not which one is the weirdest. It is which one is the weirdest, but also at the same time most functional and coolest.
So to start off with, Wiebold, what is your locomotive?
I'm supporting basically a class of locomotives called pole road locomotives, specifically Perdido. These were locomotives that were built as smaller types, usually geared, and they ran on tracks that were made of fallen tree trunks. That's,
I'm trying to get a picture of one that doesn't suck.
yeah, well, they've basically just got weird wheels and exposed drives, which is why they're, unique.
Here's a picture of the Hercules.
There you go. That's kind of the guy.
This is the very unusual pole riding locomotive.
Yeah.
Bow, chicka bow wow.
Bow, 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 bow.
What?
Well,
JDur, what is your locomotive?
I'm doing the Baltimore and Ohio George H. Emerson 4444.
from Wikipedia.
Which
Hang on,
is-
I have this. I have the Steam Loco thing right here.
we
Just a
won't
moment.
even need that.
No, I have it. Just a moment.
Well, actually, we will if we're gonna getting it out. But
Well,
Just
again, there aren't stats for most of these engines.
well, it's stacked.
This
for
has
mine,
stats.
it's stacked for him.
this is really good stats actually.
Well, I mean, it's a duplex. It's pretty great.
Mine's a Malay acute.
Yeah, so, Milky, what is your wheel arrangement?
2, 10, 10, 2.
One of the largest terrible ideas ever conceived.
it's a deca pod pod.
Take a pop. That's such a great name for it.
It's the Decapod Pod.
The deca pod pod.
Take a decapod pod.
Nice.
I'm trying to get a nice picture of it to show everybody here.
The first one's not that bad.
I've got a picture. Does it have an articulated boiler?
I think it does.
Wait,
Because we know those were great ideas.
Yeah.
wait. The 2
But you-
10 10 2 with an articulated boiler.
But you know what didn't have an articulated boiler? The glorious Stalin's locomotive, the AA-20.
Oh,
Good
boy.
God.
The second longest rigid wheelbase locomotive ever built. Second longest, because only the PRR had the idea to build something longer than the AA-20.
Nut.
But it
Oh, I found it.
but it earns the designation of most coupled wheels.
Yep.
That is.
The 414.4
God.
is it?
Mm-hmm.
Dear
Jeez.
God. Glorious Soviet
trying to
engineer.
I'm trying to get any sort of semblance of how this thing did. But
Well, we know exactly how it did.
but like most of
Failed.
these, like most of these engines, it didn't survive very long.
Yeah.
However, it did manage to survive 25 years. The single engine from 1935 to 1960.
It's like the Gabonador technicality.
No, it was still whole.
It just wasn't being
It
used.
just wasn't being used. Why? Because it wasn't a good idea.
And JDur, you have...
JDur already discussed his. He has the George H. Emerson. I saved the
Oh, that's right,
I
that's right.
saved the glorious Soviet locomotive for last.
Can I
Oh, that's
make
right.
a thing real quick?
What thing?
I found the Santa Fe articulated boiler.
Oh no.
Jeez.
I mean, I got a picture of it.
No, you have the 210.
The Articia boiler is the 2662.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, the Articia boiler is a little bit easier to see that it is the...
Bad idea.
This ended in 2 separate engines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, I don't know how we should do this. It's supposed to be absolute chaos.
I don't know. Well, I'll go for points on mine first because it was extremely cheap to operate. Its fuel, it was very easy to steam up. The rails obviously were made of logs and it was used in logging, so it was extremely efficient to operate.
Now that's
As well as the fact that it was extremely
logging
easy to work on,
locomotive.
most of the mechanism being
Exterior.
out in the open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could
most
see.
of the mechanism being outside. That is literally the most... It is literally the easiest thing in the world to maintain because it has the mechanism of a bike.
Yeah.
That's what
I
you call a
can
logging
see, though,
locomotive.
Laying down track properly, unless this thing has a lot of leeway, which, to its credit, it probably has a significant amount.
Like,
But-
look at its wheels. I think it
But
does.
it would have been troublesome to find logs the correct diameter. And
Well,
bumping from one to the next probably wasn't the easiest thing.
Well,
It's-
bumping from one to the next is kind of what it was designed to do, and also it just had to get a log that was smaller than the wheel
Yeah.
inset, which you'd be pressed to find one that's bigger than that
There's
in
plenty
most cases.
there's plenty in the woods.
Yeah.
However, I don't see it being particularly powerful or particularly fast.
However, it did not need to be particularly powerful or fast, as, again, it's a geared locomotive used for logging.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be faster.
I'm just
Anything.
citing potential disadvantages. of
Oh yeah,
such a
but for the
thing.
job it was meant to do.
For the
Yeah.
job it was meant to do, it probably did it quite handily.
Mhm.
For example, like many of our massive friends, the AA-20 made an impression.
Yeah,
And
by
that-
straightening curves.
By straightening curves. Absolutely. It straightened curves, it made switches no longer switch, and it showed everyone the glorious power of the Soviet Union.
Glorious boss.
Boiler was made of stalinium.
Selenium.
But man, it's got a hell of a drive rod.
Mm.
I actually, once again, I can't find any decent stats on this thing. I don't know the pressure, although I could only conceive that it would be much. I don't know how much it would be able to pull, but the loading gauge was probably fairly insignificant, you know. Or not the loading gauge, but the weight on the different
Yeah.
drivers. You weren't... For all the damage it was doing to track, none of it was because of its weight.
Yeah, it did have good distribution. Again, however, though, with drive and connecting rods that large, with every stroke of the piston, it would beat the crap out of the track.
That's true. Also, one of the things they did, of course, they built this thing and they realized, well, this was a terrible idea. But what they decided to do was they removed some of the flanges on the drivers. And, or the flanges on some of the drivers. And they fitted the first and seventh axles with lateral motion devices. So this thing could actually articulate a little bit. Not very well, but it could sort of bend to fit the curves. So,
That does not sound structurally...
no. The boiler wasn't bending.
Trust
the wheel
me,
set
I'm an
was.
engineer.
I mean,
That
if you-
still does not sound structurally safe by any means.
Well, I mean, when you've got all of it resting on those drivers, there isn't necessarily too much on the outer end drivers. You've got that weight supported by the leading and trailing truck. It was essentially the let's make this thing destroy things a little bit less. I mean,
However, it still failed and still destroyed stuff.
theoretically, if they'd brought it to the U.S., it could have been an amazing tool for sabotage.
Yeah. For them, yes, it could have.
Unfortunately, we were already building our own very long locomotives. Isn't that right, Milky?
Strangely,
Yeah.
also associated with Russia.
Well, not really. They were deciding
Not really.
The
You
not a
telling me
Russian
this ain't
decapod.
long? The 2-10-10-2?
It wasn't
So
built
you're
out
telling
with-
me.
It wasn't built out of Western decapods, despite popular belief. It
No,
was built
Might have
out
been.
it was built out of totally not a Russian decapod.
Mm.
But anyways, they were in service from 1911 to 1918. That gives you an idea.
Yeah, that's
of how
not very long.
Yeah.
Do you have any specs on how long the Perdido and Friends lasted for, Wiebold?
I do not, except for that one. I think still survives.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Let's go
Where?
find it.
It's in. Shoot, I know for a fact. I saw this on a page not too long ago. I think it's in Alabama. I want to say.
Sweet.
I know for a fact that several of the
Alabama.
cars of these survive, as
What,
well as
like flange-based wheel cars.
yeah, the pull road. They have locomotives and cars. I don't know about the, like these 040 engines like I'm defending.
Yeah.
However, I do know that rolling stock and several diesels of this type have been preserved.
Oh, okay.
Let me see here. Pull road locomotive. This is my log rail locomotive, Perdido locomotive, pull road locomotive, stupid locomotive, dumb locomotive, goofy locomotive.
Wow.
Got a little bit upset with it apparently. Um.
Should
Oh,
I
here's
start?
here's an advantage of the AA-20, by the way. With all that room, they could include an enormous firebox.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair.
It would both never run out of steam, and it could burn incredibly low quality coal and still run.
Yeah.
Because look how much room you have. You
It
could-
currently is stored in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
It is unknown where it is, but it is known that it exists in North Carolina.
Hmm.
Let's go
So,
find it.
You know, the AA-20 was never publicly disclosed as scrapped. They never told
because
us.
it was glorious Soviet locomotive and
Exactly.
symbol of motherland. And,
Exactly. They should have done what they did with El Gobernador, just like run it past the station every time foreign dignitaries arrived. Made it,
Yeah.
Hey,
made, it
Gobernador.
made it its own track, that had
Yeah.
wider turns. Built it, of course, they had to build it its own, or they would have had to build it its own turntable because it didn't fit on any of theirs.
Yeah, they would have had to build its own roundhouse, its own turntable, its own main line.
Its own railroad, yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, you're aces.
Other than that, people are gonna go, holy sh...
Yeah, I think they're gonna do that anyway.
You just have
when the
it parked
track
there.
when the track becomes straight.
They just should have had it parked out. They should have put on display outside of the Kremlin.
Something like that, yeah.
I want a picture of Putin riding this thing.
Somebody
Somebody,
like Putin on a live steam.
I want to know if somebody's built this in live Steam.
I mean, that's yes. That's about all.
It's like we're following someone through Train Mountain and we realize the track is spread apart and
It's like, what the heck is going on here? My God.
Must be El Gobernador
It's the
again.
most
I'm gonna
comprehensive
go for another
piece
style
of
point.
thing.
We have MSTS counterparts.
really?
Yes.
You're serious?
Let me find the picture again.
MSTS.
Somebody made this in MSTS.
Well, the thing is, what hasn't been made for MSTS?
Apparently the AA-20.
Wait,
Yeah, probably.
wait.
Oh no.
Did they?
No, but they made it in brass.
Oh, no. That is... Oh.
Dear God.
What's
What's this? What is this? Oh my god.
Jeez.
Wait.
Something tells me that somebody built that themselves.
Oh yeah. It's beautiful.
Glorious Soviet locomotive.
It's terrible.
Hey, guys.
Are there any?
Gaijin.
The cab is bent.
Are there any
Look at
intro
this.
models of your stupid little engine?
Let me see.
Gaijin, please.
I wonder
What?
if there's any models of mine.
What do you say, Milky?
It's a rail walker.
It's a what?
Are there any models of yours, Milky?
I'm going to Google it.
Here's a model of mine.
Oh, serious.
MSTS 2 Oh, they have a Virginia.
Bandito.
Hey,
Ooh.
I see what's going on there.
Yeah.
Huh. Alright.
Is there an actual?
This is a
Bandito,
regular
or is it
shade.
just like the flan, or is it just the?
It's the pull road stuff.
Yeah, I see that.
Cool.
I like how the cars and stuff don't fit at all.
Yeah, because he's using regular standard gauge for whatever reason there, but
It's bigger
You know.
than standard gauge.
yes, it's no, it's not. It's just bigger than the narrow gauge stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what it looked
It's 48 inches. It's 4-foot gauge.
like. They've made it in brass.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
Milky, you
Wait,
have
how many
anything more to
sil-
say on yours?
Yeah, anybody ready to surrender yet?
I'm
I
not
haven't
ready.
done anything.
He hasn't gone. Yeah, JDur hasn't gone yet.
Then jump
Yeah,
in.
Why?
Where do I start?
Where do you start?
Because me and
It's
Peter
certainly the
um,
most slick looking.
Oh, yeah. And the one with the most data, I guess.
Well,
That's-
mine has
yeah.
plenty of data as
Because
well.
this thing was feasible, sort of.
This name was.
Okay, let me give you a question.
What?
What's the advantage of having the piston backward?
You can have the
I
drivers closer
don't-
together.
It can be it can be called the cab forward without having the cab
Oh.
forward.
That's not how that works.
That is really not how that
Milky,
works.
Milky, that's just stupid.
But then at the same time, if Milky, by that logic, it's a cab forward, and at the same time, it's a cab backward. It contradicts itself.
I think we just
Mind
broke it, guys.
blown.
We just broke
We
it.
just broke it. Broke what? Reality physics?
Yep.
The Matrix.
All the
Yes. Yes.
Matrix.
Oh,
Yeah, I have no idea why they would put the piston backwards. But I have a
And
super
Ellis
high
and I
boiler.
both know the answer to this, but we're both going to remain silent.
What
Wait,
could
we
it
do?
be?
Want to win. Yes.
Okay.
And we're both going to remain silent because we want
If
to
I
win.
if I know the answer, I forgot.
Oh, you said it like 30 seconds
Oh,
ago.
I
Wait,
did?
hang on.
Yeah,
Ellis,
That's
do you
the
know the
actual
boiler-
answer. I was
Ellis,
just BSing.
that is the actual advantage to having the piston backward like that.
It seems like a lot of trouble to go through for that.
It is a lot of trouble to go through for that. However, you can get the drive, and if it makes the difference, then
Oh no! And now I see the actual outward advantage of that.
that
And-
being,
Not doing the AA20 thing.
yeah,
Anyway, but speaking of the AA20, do you know the boiler pressure on
I
it?
don't know a damn thing about that. It's
Ellis and I are just kind of out here.
it's
Damn it.
it's classified in Soviet secret documents buried at the bottom of a bunker in next door to the Gulag in Siberia. It's
Something like yeah. It's not-
the only person who knows anything about the AA20 is currently sucking the juice out of a rotten potato
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
somewhere in the
But-
backwoods of Russia
Jeez.
because he was
You know,
exiled.
this thing,
He was exiled there for making a terrible locomotive.
That's true.
this thing's a ridiculously good steamer. I have 350 psi for the boiler.
I have 225.
Ah. Get
When would you-
tracked.
But Milky, you have two boilers.
No, he doesn't.
So he has 440, which wins.
He does not have two boilers.
We know, and that's also not how that works.
I'll tell you the interesting story of
Oh
what
wait,
happened.
This is seriously 2 boilers?
Look at
never
the
really seen
pipes.
a good-
Yes, it's 2 boilers.
Oh, I've never
It is
really seen a
seriously?
good picture
It's
of
2
this.
boilers with a bendy thing in the middle.
Oh, he's doing the bendy 2662?
No, he's doing the bendy
No.
210-10-2.
Oh, that one was bendy too.
That's a mishead
Okay then.
I don't know how you deal with that much boiler when your firebox is so small comparatively.
William Howard, the boiler can't even handle me right now, Dad.
What's your fat
how much could this bastard pull?
Oh wait, you guys are actually doing a stats off. You guys have
Yeah.
stats. Go guys,
Yeah.
go. What's your factor of adhesion, JDur?
3.58.
Goddamn wheel slip galore.
5.0.
Jesus Christ, you're not going.
5.0.
I win.
So are you supposed to get the closest to 4 or the farthest? Because I've forgotten.
The closest, because it has to be weird, but it still has to be functional.
I win.
No, I won.
No, Jader wins.
You did not win with 5 point anything.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have the best. I'd like to point out I have the best tractive effort out of all of them because the track in a lot of
Because the
cases was
track is made
serrated.
of wood.
Yeah,
For
because the
dildo.
track in a lot of cases was rough and it could grip.
Yeah, well, I made that goddamn track grip.
Hmm.
If not, I would just move it out of the way and grip the ground. I didn't care.
What's your tractive effort?
Much.
My tractive effort is the power of 10,000 American
Okay.
pig locomotives.
67,219.
67,000, eh?
67.
Yes.
I have over 100,000.
Jesus.
Damn it.
That yikes.
But you have 2 wheel sets.
Had
we
2
divide it by
boilers.
2?
Do we divide by 2 or multiply?
I don't
No.
know. Well, we won't multiply. Do we leave it or divide?
Yeah, but because it's all
Divide.
gen.
That's true. It is 1 locomotive, although it is 2 boilers.
But only 1
This engine
firebox.
is really confusing.
And it's got a pitifully small tender for an engine that large.
Yeah.
But
It's
you,
like a whale back tender.
but you could see out backing up.
Why would you need to back up in this?
How could you
Backing up.
back up in this?
Backing up.
Slowly.
Backing up.
You
Slowly, not so
okay,
surely.
You backed up slowly.
What kind of...
You went
wait.
forward slowly. You turned slowly.
Milky, what is your total engine weight?
Oh god.
I have
Um,
391,550 pounds.
Total, I have 616,000.
Jesus Christ. I win.
Do we divide that by 2?
Jesus.
I win. Okay,
Oh.
See, I'm looking
I-
at every time I go to look at this engine here, the 210-10-2. My view starts at the front, and it's like, okay, this is an okay locomotive. And then as I look back, it's like, man, this is long.
That's what she said.
It's like it doesn't even look real. It looks like you took a regular engine and stretched it out.
It's just a Photoshop picture.
Exactly.
What's your weight on track boots?
Uh,
No, you should do weight per driver. That I'm curious to see. You know,
Okay.
if there was
Okay.
something like that. What's
Weight
your minimum weight of rail for both of you guys?
100 pounds per yard.
92.
How?
Jeez.
I mean, I know it's a 210
100 pounds, that is heavy rail.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm used to 100 pounds. The Pensy laid like 113 all the time.
Really?
Yeah. That was like their...
Granted, I'm probably not the best judge of this because narrow gauge.
Yeah, you narrow gauge, divide like... What's your normal size of rail on like the Cumbres and Toltec or the Durango and Silver?
Cumbres and Toltec, I think it's around 80.
Oh, it's around 80? That's higher than
Yeah,
I
let me-
expect.
Let me look it up. Well, that's after it was upgraded.
Oh, that's right. What would it have been in Durango, or not Durango, in DNRGW times?
I want to say 45, but I'm not sure.
Jeez.
Yeah. Light stuff.
Mhm.
Like really light stuff.
Don't quote me on that. Let me look it up.
What is your
60.
Oh, 60.
Oh wait,
What-
no.
What?
Hang on.
21.
what's your tender weight?
Oh god.
Uh,
Look, compared to your engine, your tender might as well weigh nothing. Your tender is
Okay.
small.
let's not
Okay,
do
50,
that.
57 was regular
No,
service.
decaf.
It was updated to 70.
Okay. Yeah, 57.
Alright.
It's half the weight of, Pensy rail.
Yeah.
Okay,
which is-
what kind of valve gear did you have?
If I recall, it's code 100
What not
thereabouts
good.
is
I had
100.
Schwinn, but I had Schwinn driving gear.
I see what you did there.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Glorious
wait, Milky.
Soviet driving gear.
Wait, Milky, what do you have? I have wall charts.
I do too.
I have no idea
Okay.
what this is.
Who built
Where's a
these?
pic? Send
I'm
another
guessing-
picture of it.
I'm
Hang on. Here's
guessing
a,
wall shirts because it's kind of everywhere. Wall shirts is everywhere.
Let
But
me see.
hang on.
It
I'm working
yeah,
on it.
it looks well.
it's not
I would
popping.
say it's wall shirts, except for that reciprocating valve looks. The eccentric
There's,
being doubled up like that. I don't know if that affects it, but
I figure the eccentric might be doubled up so that it can cover the massive distance.
that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know if that affects it. Jeez, JDur.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's quite shiny. And then
It
the
is.
smoke box.
It's-
The thing on the smoke box makes it
I
British.
said it's the most slick-looking engine here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's
We're not
your,
in-
Ellis, you have a giant Russian thing. Wiebold, you have a dildo.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
I have the most functional one here, and the only one that still exists.
Yeah, but yours doesn't run on rails.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Just not iron rails.
just
It runs on
Hey,
rock.
if Railcraft can have wooden rails, so can we.
Yeah, there's a reason that's Railcraft. Go-
Why? Because it's epic.
Ask Nathan. Oh yeah, I'm sure Nathan would love to hear you say that.
Okay, what is your firebox area?
Over 9,000.
284.5.
Again, I'd say that. Do we multiply that by 2 or divide it by 2? Because there could be 2 fireboxes.
Or not
but
2 fireboxes.
But the boiler's twice as large. So then, do we divide it by 2 because it spans 2 boilers?
If there were
No.
2 fireboxes, this thing would have had if the thing would have had a chance of getting over 7 miles per hour.
Wow.
Which, for the record, was Milky's top speed.
What was your top speed,
Seriously?
Ellis?
Yeah, well,
That's a good question.
Slow.
21.
I mean,
I doubt it could break 20.
I mean, if I got a straight stretch of track,
I doubt it could go very fast.
I don't know what the top speed on this thing was, but they used it on fast freight and passenger trains.
it's got big drivers. I'd figure fast.
Yeah. The Beano was smart.
Hang on, let me see what my top speed was.
So was Santa
Yours
Fe.
is
They,
also slow.
Hang on, let me see.
One.
Let me see.
What's my bike's top speed?
Hush.
my
by
bike
that,
still
Probably
did
30 miles an hour.
I don't know.
Thank
I'm
you.
not the weight of a steam boiler.
it.
Hang on, let me see.
What's your combined heating surface?
Combined heating surface. 6,209 square feet.
You guys are really going at it. I'm not keeping track, by the way.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
This
Neither
is
am I.
Smash with
We're
the
just,
crackbots.
we're just
I-
shooting each other.
I have 600. No, not 600. 6,300.
Go for the
Okay.
sarcasm. This thing
let's
has
just-
this thing has a firebox that very clearly extends up. The other one's like a bucket. All right, no, the other one, Milky, your firebox is so shallow.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Bruh.
We could do approximately 515.6 miles per hour.
515.6.
Yes.
Based
What?
on what math?
The fact that that is the locomotive's terminal velocity.
How did you figure out the terminal velocity of a locomotive?
You'd be amazed what you can find on EHOW.
Don't you have to calculate the wind resistance of it?
Yeah, that was a rough approximation.
I don't.
Well,
Okay, well, then let's put it this way. I can go faster than you.
Although you have more resistance.
No, I'm shaped pretty well, especially if I'm falling upside down.
All right.
You've got
Let's,
it.
Falling upside down, it has the same profile as if it was falling right side up.
No, right side
Right.
up is wheels down. You've got a more or less flat surface down. But if it's upside down, you've got a curved surface.
Okay, then why not have it pointing down? In which case, it's like dropping a pencil.
Well, that
Why
works
am I
too.
helping you?
Either way, I'd go faster than you.
Jesus Christ. Okay,
yeah.
let's do style points.
This whole
That's kind of
thing
what
is-
we've been on this whole time.
More style points then. I have
I'll-
the little.
Style points. B&O Locomotive is shiny. Negative style points. Vanderbilt tender. Moving on.
Oh,
I have the
Oh.
little whatever it is on the smoke box front that makes it look British.
Style point. Lots and
Oops.
lots
style
of
point minus for JDur for the little British thing.
style points.
Why?
Bendy engine. Negative style points. Really crappy tender for the size of engine.
Okay.
And
Style
It
points
was
for the
also-
A20.
it was also built for, well, my engine was built from the Santa Fe for the Santa Fe to the Santa Fe.
And this is a style point?
Yes.
Style
Uh-huh.
point. Style point for Perdido. Adorable. Negative style point. 2 chains.
Hey!
Build it.
How is that a
And-
negative style point?
Because I'm voting for Waka Flocka.
Hang on. Wow. That's still not a negative style
No,
point.
it's not.
So I'm the only one that's come out positive.
Negative style
Sure.
point. Doesn't run on rails.
It does run on rails.
Subtract-
just not iron ones.
Subtract 2. 1 per rail.
Oh, shush. They are rails.
It's okay. I
No, they're
don't.
not.
It's okay. I don't run on rails either for that long.
I do,
They're still rails.
except in miles per
I
hour.
managed to run on. Wait, JDur, how long did your locomotive survive for?
It was built in 1938 and scrapped in 1950, so
Yes,
12 years.
I'm the second oldest. Glory of the motherland.
Second longest lasting.
Whoa.
Hey,
Second
maybe
longest
it's-
lasting, and to the public, I am the longest lasting because nobody knows that this was scrapped.
Except for the internet.
Shush. The internet.
And us.
You can't trust everything you see on the internet. Maybe it wasn't.
Then how do you know that they were never told it was scrapped?
Touche.
Oh, also another
Jeez.
style point, because I'm kind of just going for the pull road stuff at this point. They have a pull road Shay that's still around.
Oh, man.
Going for a style point, my engine has
Negative style points for abandoning your locomotive.
It's still there.
Yeah, sort
Negative
of.
style points for scrapping it, Russia.
Hey,
At least
you
we
can-
had the
you can
decency
take-
to let it live.
You can take points away from Putin all you like.
Yeah.
All right.
Isn't that what this
But
whole
this engine
podcast
had
is
the
about?
had the heart and soul of Stalin. It would decimate everything.
This is a Castle class with a New York Central logo on it.
Well, that was
What?
somebody made a mistake.
Castle with the.
I'll
wait.
bet that isn't a pull road.
No, that is not a pull road. That is a Lionel.
Okay,
Wait,
yeah,
Link.
Lionel made a mistake.
Link,
No.
I want to see.
We need to finish
You
this
can go
out.
find-
Yes.
All right.
I'm voting for JDur.
Yay.
The
I
rule
vote
is the rule is
for.
don't vote for yourself.
Damn it.
Oh.
Damn it.
Voting for... All of these are terrible.
They are all terrible.
I vote for Milky because America.
Jesus.
Okay.
Because Milky's huge and the babes go wild.
Milky, who do you vote for?
JDur.
Yay. Two.
Wow.
Backwards cylinders.
Alright.
because half cab forwards. That's your line.
Wow.
It's as close to SP as he's gonna get.
I'm just
today.
saying, mine's the most functional here.
Eh,
Although I do.
I don't know. The George H. Emerson is pretty functional.
Not
Oh, yeah.
really.
It's just
And
backwards.
It could. Why
And
not
the
really?
3000 is too.
Well, it's not... Well, never mind.
It is.
It was functional. It's not still around.
Yeah, That's not what you said, though.
Yeah.
I
However, there were more conventional ways of doing the same job that were more efficient as far as design and maintenance goes.
Yeah.
This was simplified from the industry standard and still did the job actually better than the others.
Yes.
Sure. All right.
I could throw in
You
something.
can't tell I'm fighting with this thing till it's grave.
Yeah, I know, but if you can't tell, nobody here voted for you.
Yeah. Well,
You did.
Perdido is
well
a
then
door-
you don't get my vote, Mr. Smarty Pants.
I didn't expect your vote. I have the glorious Soviet, locomotive. It doesn't need your filthy American capitalist.
Doesn't need
votes.
your patronage.
Doesn't need your filthy
Capitalist
capitalist
America.
votes.
Fine, I'll vote for Milky because it's it's a cool idea.
Because you want to tie.
Yeah, because I don't want to give
What
it
do we
to
do
JDur.
now?
What we do now is we ask the viewers, of course.
Yes.
No, Milky, rock, paper, scissors.
The I'm huge and that's not going to work.
Yeah.
The I'm huge and the babes go wild 210-10-2 flexi boiler with the crappy tender, or the maximum speed duplex with the backward cylinder and the crappy boiler.
With the crappy boiler?
Crappy tender.
Yeah, how is it a crappy boiler?
No, the other one is
Well.
the crappy boiler.
Good.
I
But
mean,
you have-
if we're going by length here, but it's not the length; it's how you use it.
The duplex Elpud.
I mean, you're not
Yeah.
wrong.
The what?
The duplex Elpud. That's duplex and then duplex written backward after it.
Wow.
The duplex Elpud.
The duplex output.
The duplex Elpud.
So either the shiny and somewhat British George H. Emerson, or the
Oh,
extendo boiler.
Viagra boiler.
Well, I don't know. It's pretty bendy. I wouldn't say Viagra did a good job.
Oh, wow.
And out of the running is glorious Soviet locomotive because it does not need your filthy American communist pig or capitalist pig votes. It is glorious and
best.
is loyal to motherland till the end, or the log train.
Hey! The log train that is the most functional and unsung hero of our industry.
Yes,
And for dildo.
definitely the most unsung hero. Completely.
It's pretty unsung, but it is a hero.
And for dildo.
Like
I
Captain Planet.
Brings. I don't even know, man. Twin ribbons of wood.
Yeah. It's still, it counts.
Nah.
It counts, it's cheap, it's functional, it's powerful, it does its job. It's the best at doing what it was built to do.
Alright, let's move on
It's a
from
gif
this.
of ducks. What is this gif of ducks?
Gif of ducks.
Quack, quack.
This is not a gif of ducks, this is a photo of ducks with a playhead photoshopped over it. This is a bunch of cops on segways. The Chinese
Alright.
Special Forces are at segways.
Okay, let's move on.
Is it at least it isn't the only locomotive here you'd have to build special track for.
Yeah. You kind of have to do it for all of them.
No,
Well,
not really.
Not mine.
not mine.
Not Jaders or Milky's.
Not Milky's Jaders could it needs the heavy rail.
Well, yeah, but to you, that's not
That's
particularly
true.
heavy rail though.
That's true.
That's pretty normal rail.
It's pretty
Heavy
heavy.
rail to me is like 140.
Yeah, no, that's
Allegheny.
heavy rail.
Alright, fine.
His
Points.
got pretty normal rail. Milky's just means incredibly lax speed limits. The AA-20 can of course only run on straight stretches of track
Dear
unless you want to
God.
demolish something.
Wiebold.
Hey, wait! I just thought of something. We can run on track. This is the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
No,
Hang on,
you will
I'll
not.
send this in-
You are not taking any switches in that thing. I'll tell you that much.
That's fair. You're not taking switches, but you could go on normal track.
Hmm.
This is scary.
What's this?
Isn't it not the right gauge?
It's
Oh
narrow
my
gauge.
god, what?
Although the wheels are wide enough.
Dear lord, what?
It would only need to be 8 inches wider, and the wheels are... Yeah, the wheels are wide enough.
It would only
What?
need 8 inches of
That
enhancement,
would-
and then it could
Wrong.
act like a normal locomotive.
Well, no, it can act, because 48 is from the center of each hub thing.
A normal
It's lifted slightly, but it can fit over a normal track.
chain driven 040.
Yeah. Darn right.
What a
Alright,
silly,
let's move on.
what a silly little engine.
That is the
That's not-
scariest.
Next knocks down as we enter the station.
Nah,
What?
I've got the speed. I don't have the speed.
Hmm.
JDur had the speed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also
Look
have
at,
masking tape.
Look at the picture I posted.
I'm not going to,
Oh, why not?
because I do not want to.
Creepy as hell.
Trying to figure out where to jump on here. When did I get a point?
When
It
did we
was
all-
for... I can't remember what it was for, actually. It was for insulting someone, like, to a very large degree. Can't remember who it was.
It
What
was
were we?
when-
What were we talking about?
When? I don't remember. I don't know when I got the point.
It was. I can't remember if it was during filler or
It was
like,
called-
I don't know. We can tell you after the podcast after we look back at it, but I don't know.
I don't know, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna rewatch it. I don't watch this thing.
I-
But
Someone
we
watched-
did
Does
find
anybody?
out. We did find out people do actually watch this. Isn't that right,
Yes.
Wiebold?
Yes, we did. Actually, I was on FCNN the other day, and I was asked if I was the Wiebold from I was like,
From the Terminus podcast.
yeah, I'm sorry that meaning what? Apparently, somebody actually watches Terminus, and I was recognized.
We have at
So-
least 3.
We have greater than one fan.
We have at least 3 confirmed viewers because apparently TBA ran into a couple of people that watched the podcast.
Wow.
And
TBA ran into a pair of his friends, a pair of his peers, I should say, that were discussing the Terminus podcast. He overheard them and was like, "Oh, what?"
Hang on, who are these people?
Apparently, they are other rail fans at TBA's school.
They're out there somewhere.
They're out there somewhere.
we're not dead.
If you
We're not
listen to
dead.
the podcast and you're going to Train Mountain, hit us up. One of those
Yeah.
on the day of the train parade, we'll be wearing Terminus podcast T-shirts.
Yep.
If all goes to plan.
If all goes to plan.
Yeah.
Indeed. But sometimes some things don't.
hmm
Especially
Well-
when they bob around the certain 40-year-old car.
hmm
Well, are we ready to move on to dial control then?
I guess so. We already sort of jumped into it.
We already did.
Yeah. I don't really have anything.
What
The
is?
donation station.
Yeah. What?
The club got a lot of stuff donated to it,
Oh,
which
really?
yeah.
Are you gonna
Ooh.
sell it at shows and stuff, or?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
We got a stack of rolling stock kits that measured 5 feet tall, 8 feet wide, and 8 feet deep.
Oh.
Jesus, did it come in like a pallet?
No, it came in a barn.
In a barn.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
There was, unfortunately, a former member of the club who owned a train store passed on, and he left his entire collection and inventory to the club.
Jesus.
So we essentially have inherited a train store.
Wow.
Anything usable in there?
Yeah. I haven't myself looked over it. It's mostly rolling stock kits.
Are you guys gonna get
But-
like first dibs?
Yes, we get dibs.
Swag.
We get dibs, and then everything else gets sold for profit to the club.
I remember that was
But it's... I'll actually look... JDur, was it you or Milky that was looking for Tycho stuff? They were saying that's the era it's from. It's like 70s era HO stuff.
Sort of both of us.
Yeah,
I'm
we-
looking for one of those Tycho the colon loaders.
Yeah, I'll look for anything that's Tycho. But
Yeah, ship it to
they're
me.
saying it's kind of on the borderline. It's old enough that it could be... It's old enough that it could be the good Tycho. However, it's not old enough to be confirmed, and it's young enough that it could be the bad stuff. it's kind of on that, it's kind of bordering between the two. I'll look and see for that.
Yeah.
Ellis, you need
If
anything?
you find a colon
I
loader,
can
ship it to me.
probably get any rolling stock you need for like $2.
I don't think I need any rolling stock right now. I got chewed out
Then
for
that boy?
accidentally. I got chewed out for leaving the Providence Northern box on the layout.
Why?
Because
Tell us about that.
okay, so we got upgraded. The NAB&W got upgraded from a model railroad society to a historical society because we model a lot of the scenes in very, very precise depth. Almost all of our towns south of Port Henry. Guys, Port Henry is the big port on the lake with a steel mill and everything. To the north of that, it's sort of proto-lanced.
Yeah.
But to the south of that, it's pretty much to a T. Not all of, but most of the buildings are based off of actual buildings from photographs of the area.
Damn.
And the roads are laid out that way. We had to omit a couple of streets in Troy, but that was it. We try to be as specific as possible, and despite the fact that it's a fictional railway, nonetheless, we try to stick to the history as much as possible. So apparently the PN box was left on the layout, and it must have been left on there for a quite significant period of time because I hadn't been down there in the better part of a month. And when I finally got back, that's when, you can't leave the boxcar on the layout, especially when we're having visitors come down here, because I have to explain, why, what is,
Was it-
what
Was
is
it the entire club consensus that there was that, or is it just one guy that was,
it is,
crabby?
It is the guy that is in charge of the club and the guy that is in charge of the history.
Ah.
So, it's basically his job to make sure that it's all up to par. And
I still think he sounds just crabby.
well, I mean, he's a really nice guy, but something must have happened.
Well, the fact that they allow the other fictional stuff, but not the...
Well, they only have the NAB&W, which is their railroad, and the fictional one that they interchange which is in the Proto-Lance section.
Right.
And
Well, why?
he's okay with Lee because B&M would come into Troy
Well, why wouldn't Providence Northern?
because Providence Northern doesn't exist.
But neither does the connecting railroad.
I know, and neither did the NAB&W, but they're modeling a specific sort of deal. It's it's a kind of oddly specific.
That's the kind of question I have then is if I was doing something that's proto-lanced based off of the Rio Grande, I don't think I'd reject something that was proto-lanced based off of Union Pacific because if one thing's proto-lanced, then why wouldn't the rest of the country be proto-lanced? Isn't it like alternate history almost?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the thing is that they set it up to have this certain amount of leeway, as in, okay, this is the New England, Berkshire, and Western, and we're modeling railroad operations with the surrounding railroads in this time period. And
That's surrounding.
what?
That's surrounding.
No,
Rhode Island is...
it's not. Because in that time period, nor in any time period, the Providence Northern did not exist.
But
And
they don't exist either.
they don't exist either, but they're modeling their interactions with other real railroads in that time period. They're not willing to accept other fictions because that's not in their what's the word?
Code of honor.
It's just not the way it's run. And no, I had the same argument, but the argument I got is
I see their argument, but I'm still gonna harumph at it, and I'm unfortunately kind of set in that opinion. I think that's a little bit hypocritic. It's bordering on rivet counting and slightly hypocritical, in my opinion.
oh yeah, and I have pointed out the hypocrisy of it, and the other guys just sort of go, yeah, no, I know, but it's his head, and when he comes in and goes, it's essentially when he has a visitor come down that is familiar with railroads, and he goes, okay, so this is the New England, Berkshire, and Western, we based it off this, that, and the other, and then you see the Providence Northern boxcar in the yard, and the person will go, what's that railroad? And he'll have to explain, oh, well, that's something one of our students brought in, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. it essentially it doesn't line up with history, and they have to apologize for that.
Again, that's I see where they're coming from, but maybe this is just being desensitized by my own, but
Well, especially since it is a
I don't think that's again, I think that's a little bit self-important even maybe. It's that's quite a bit to be saying, we must apologize for our historical inaccuracies on something that is a single boxcar that already in a fictional environment. Again, my opinion. I can see where he's coming from on all this, and your actions are best. It's best to just cooperate with them because they do have the final say in it.
So
However,
I just took it and set it aside and went, well, okay, I'm not gonna put it out again because I'm afraid to forget it and not put it back.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, the point of me bringing with it was to transport a little bit of the Providence Northern Railroad, but it's a little bit different now that we're a historical society as opposed to just a model railroad.
Yeah. Again, I think that's a little bit, self-importance maybe not the best word for it, but that's all I can really think of it. It sounds like you're putting a tremendous amount of importance on something that really, you're a historical society. We have a water tank called No Agua and a junction called Delay. And Delay Junction wasn't real.
I was gonna say.
No Agua was real. Delay
guys,
Junction was not.
But are you guys a historical society?
The State Railroad Museum is. They're the ones with Delay Junction.
Oh. Is their railroad supposed to be representative of the area?
Somewhat, yeah. Yes. It is supposed to be representative of the Denver and Rio Grande Western. That is why we run actual, authentic, realistic Denver and Rio Grande Western stock.
In a little circle.
No, you haven't seen their layout, man. The Colorado Railroad Museum is sweet.
Yeah. What are you playing at?
What?
Okay.
What are you playing at? It is just a circle.
Yeah. When you said
It's kind of just a circle. There's a lot of switching to it, but
it's a circle.
It's just a circle.
Am I not? I mean,
when you say
just a
authentic
circle
Rio
is
Grande,
kind of
I think
boiling
like
it
Kuhn
down, isn't it?
To a degree, but at the same time, not really. You couldn't, with a real railroad, you couldn't really get much closer to just having a big circle. Let me see if I can find. There's an image that they have on here that's like a map of the museum. Here it is. This is the museum from Google Earth.
No. I meant the model.
Oh no, not the model.
I was talking about the model railroad.
Oh no, I was talking about the real thing.
Oh no, I don't consider that particularly relevant because it's not within your means to be.
Still a historical society.
Well, yeah, but you're not chronicling the history of the railroad by building the railroad.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, though, ours is supposed to be. Okay, you want inaccuracy? We're supposed to be modeling the Denver and New Orleans, which ran north to south. Our main line runs east to west. We're just bad at doing our job.
Yeah.
You don't have a sense of direction, just like TVA.
What do you mean it runs east to west? Is it marked as east to west?
Yes, we have the eastbound main line and the westbound main line.
You pass through towns that are east to west?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I'm probably not in the best position to be speaking on it because my club is pretty lenient on that kind of thing. It's just I see where they're coming from. At the same time, though, I think that's hypocritical and kind of. Were those the guy's exact words? Because I'm trying to figure out whether or not I like him.
What?
What exactly did he say to you?
I don't want you leaving it out, especially, or I don't want leaving it out when you can run it when you're here, but please take it off the layout when you're not here because if somebody comes in, we're supposed to be a historical society now. If someone comes in and they're asking me what's that, I don't want to have to explain the fact that there's, another.
Yeah. I don't know. It still kind of chaps my hide.
Yeah, he was just a little frustrated.
Let me put it this way. If I were in that position, and again, this might be outside bias, if I were in that position, I don't think I would have taken especially kindly to it.
Well. What are you going to do?
That's exactly, your response was not... I'm not saying that your response was by any means wrong or anything. Well, that's exactly how you should, and I don't have the advantage of being able to react that way to it. However, because I'm however many thousands of miles away, I can hold this opinion of this guy.
Yeah, it's not to say I didn't say anything, but at the end of the day, it's, well...
He does make the final say.
Mm-hmm.
He runs the joint,
Right.
And it's his setup, it's his sort of deal. I'm not the only person he's had to have things taken off from. And originally, when they started...
let me ask this: Did he sound friendly at all, or was he being more stern?
Well, he just showed up. I don't know if something had gotten to him, but he seemed a little irked.
Ooh.
Mm. Yeah, again, that's... Yeah. I've said again a lot in this conversation.
He's not a bad guy.
I'm not necessarily saying he's a bad guy. I just don't... In the hobby, I don't... Again, outside bias, and I'm all for historical accuracy and, neat little things, that actually is prototypical. However, I don't... I'm never the first to... We do have clubs or guys kind of like that in our club. I'm never the first one to jump up and say that's historically inaccurate, because I know that it's impossible to be 100% inaccurate, especially when it involves hypocrisy, which already ticks me off.
Depends how you look at it. I mean,
yeah, it does.
To an extent, it is hypocritical. Yeah. On the
to
other
an extent,
side,
to an extent, it's hypocritical. To another extent, it's noble.
Yeah.
To some extent, it's
he's
cheap and self-important, and in another sense, it is fulfilling of the task at hand.
He's trying to keep it clean.
Right. There's always the different views to it, and it's a fine line. And
also, you don't want to distract people with, oh, we're coming here. Look at the city of Troy. Look how well we have this modeled. Not only that, but my box sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh, it does?
It is. They have spent hours and hours and hours and hours weathering all of those cars.
Okay. There's a piece of information I'm missing. Bring
a lot of times.
Bring your car when you come out here. Bring the car, because we can weather it easily.
A lot of the time,
weathering is one thing that I do. I'm extremely partial of.
It's the kind of thing where, I'd like to weather, and I'd like to weather Lee too, but I don't want to, I'm worried about ruining it if I try to do it myself, and I don't have the tools to do it anyways.
Oh, again, bring it out here. We've got the airbrush, we've got the equipment to do. Heck, I've weathered my own locomotive in all my cars, and they still work great. If you're interested, bring them out.
It's fairly simple in design.
Yeah.
Also, it's marginally taller than the other cars.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see, I was thinking of it like it's just kind of blended into the yard, and he's, the guests are kind of marveling at everything. I didn't think that any attention was drawn to it at all.
No. It's
like if people are pointing it out, I can kind of see that. However, if it's just another car and he's like, "Oh, please pardon this," that nobody would notice anyway.
He wouldn't. If I'd just left it there, if it had blended in, I don't think it would have been a problem, because he wouldn't have noticed it, and nobody would have noticed it. It's just another car with a logo on the side of it. Instead,
well, there's our other historical inaccuracy. A guy runs a train that has 103 beer cars on it, and they're all different.
Well, beer.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's the kind of thing where I'd love to leave it around the layout as like an Easter egg too, but it would just sort of stick out. It's a little bit taller. It's a little bit lighter. It isn't weathered. And
again, maybe when things have cooled down a little bit, if you're interested, just ask the guy. If you bring it out here, we've got stuff to weight it and weather it, and
no, I don't.
All of our cars have to be up to snuff.
I'm not willing to press the issue. It's
All
up
right.
to stuff in terms of code, because Ray Schofield, who I should get hooked into his layout and talk about his layout on here, because he already did the first run on his narrow gauge and stuff.
Woo! Yeah. How's that going? He's the guy that I really like.
It's as far as I know, it's coming along quite well. Looks like he has a lot of the track work done.
Woo.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, I'm not gonna press the issue with the PN box.
Yeah, you don't have to. Well, not necessarily press it, but if it ever comes up again,
it's essentially his job to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's the scenery guy and everything. He's the one that's trying to keep us all. He's
In
the
order.
one that's trying to keep everything looking good.
Yeah. See, we solved that at our club with interesting means. When the standard gauge started
Rock,
to get
paper,
too far
scissors.
from reality for the one dude's taste, he built the narrow gauge, and the narrow gauge is pretty darn accurate. It's not really, it's proto-lanced, but it's, everything is weathered, everything has a foundation, everything is put together
No agua.
correctly. Nothing is cheap or out of place looking.
Yeah.
All the cars are period correct. All the rolling stock. Everything is as it should be, and that's why I really like the narrow gauges. The rest of the layout kind of looks like a joke at times.
I don't know where I was going with that. I got sidetracked with Ray Schofield. I want him to get on the. I want to bring him on the podcast someday, but he's like, he's not quite a Luddite, but he's
A Luddite?
He's a self-described Luddite.
Is it okay? What's a
A
Luddite?
Luddite, as in someone who stays away from technology.
Ah.
So he's infertile commas Amish.
No, not like
There's a
that.
difference between.
Not like that far away from technology, JDur.
Okay.
I mean, like he
Gotcha.
doesn't. I don't think he owns a computer, but he
Ah.
has a smartphone, I believe. But he's like,
I was gonna say, how do you not to say that it's like, well, how do you survive in the modern world without some access to some form of the internet?
yeah, no, he
I don't think you really can.
sends out a hell of a lot of emails too for someone who doesn't spend a lot of time
For
on
someone who
computers.
doesn't like technology.
It's really funny because when I signed up for the Providence Northern mailing list, it was like somebody, I think it might have been in Chris Clegg, our steam hitting dispatcher, who's like, "Oh, you did that? Oh, enjoy the spam."
Oh,
It's like, wow, that's a little harsh.
little harsh, don't you think? 3 days later. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. No, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as he would have made it out to be.
Eh.
Well. He's got a lot of track laid.
Yeah,
It's pretty great.
that's neat.
Oh yeah, no, the random thing about Lee that I wanted to, when they elected Lee, which unfortunately he didn't make it for the last op session, neither did I. It was the last weekend. I was at work, as I am always, but I would have liked him to be on the layout for that, because he pulls the noob killer. Which apparently has been made a little bit better. I found out another reason why it was awful.
Was that?
Okay, so you run into staging. You can
yeah.
run into staging from two different points. One is the NEB&W main line.
Nibwe.
2 is the ONLR main line. They both converge, and they can either run around a loop and end up back on the NEB&W main line, or run into the yard. One of the yard tracks was specifically designated for the ONLR train. However, coming out of the yard, you can either go on the ONLR main line or the NEB&W main line. And if you pick the wrong one, you're in trouble.
Oh,
Oh.
Not like scolded in trouble, but you're gonna be in
Like,
for some trouble.
you're up a creek without a paddle
Yeah.
very quickly. Trouble.
The ONLR, apparently the guy who ran the ONLR train this most recently pulled out onto the NAB&W mainline firstly,
Oh no.
Oh god.
and then he pulled out with another train later once he managed to finish that one. He pulled out with another train
Oh no.
onto the ONLR mainline instead of the NAB&W mainline.
Dear god.
So
Okay, this guy's an
you'd
idiot.
think he would have got it the first time, but he didn't.
Nope.
So they redesigned that to make it a little bit better.
Yeah,
This guy's an idiot.
a bit.
But the whole thing with the ONLR was originally when they sort of elected Lee for ONLR service, it was put to me, you should re-letter it for the ONLR. I was like, no, I don't. I'm not really a big fan of that. And I just sort of shrugged it off and moved
If
on.
you could re-letter Lee, would you?
No. Originally, I wanted to re-letter him as the Wabash Mogul that was built in Rhode Island, the 573.
Funny thing is,
Yeah.
Bachman made him.
Yeah, Bachman did make the Wabash one, but again, it's not properly accurate either. It's not accurate to the B&M Moguls either. But, you know, now Lee is Lee.
It's kind of like their consolidation that it's design. It's generic by design.
Yeah, it is. But now Lee is Lee. Lee is 1360 Boston and Maine, and he's had, you know, he's now had an episode of the Iron Horseman Chronicles written about him.
Well,
He has
quick
a full
question about
ramble
Lee.
once.
So, what about Lee?
Yeah. Have you ever like taken the engine, taken them apart to like, do proper
No,
maintenance
I
and
can
stuff?
answer that for him. No.
No, I have not.
Sweet. Because
Why is
'Cause
that
I've been
sweet?
wondering
you
if
made,
I need
you made
to-
it sound like I have to.
I mean, I would at least attempt to, like when you go over to Wiebold's, just do like a little checkup.
We won't do anything to it if you're not comfortable with it. But if you are still interested in weathering it, we can by any means do that.
I mean, it would be interesting to have Lee weathered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guys there might even, not that they really care about him being historically accurate in the first place, but they might care less about the inaccuracy if he doesn't stick out as much.
He's
Because I'd assume all of their official engines are weathered as well.
He's just visiting.
Yeah.
The mogul from
He's
the
a drifter.
East.
Right.
Anyways. Speaking of...
Yeah, that was a long discussion.
It
We
was.
went down several different paths there.
That was a good discussion, though. That was actually quite interesting.
It's better when we have the good discussions.
Yeah.
The podcast is better, however, it probably is running a little bit long right now.
We just passed 2 hours.
Okay.
So we're on normal schedule, but we've only got 4 of us, and
We've only got
Yeah.
normal schedule. We've only got 4 of us. We did Passion of the Crackpots, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
that's true.
We had a handful of news at the beginning. Like a face full of news.
Yeah.
And someone died.
Trainload of news.
Nutsack full of news.
What?
And me died.
I'm huge in the Babes Go Wild. But Lee ain't the only mogul in town.
Yeah. I have Bruce.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Fish are friends, not food.
Fish are friends, not food.
It's not
I can only
Sure.
imagine, like, what would be the... I just see, like, an AA-20 preying on a pack of Perditos. They're just, like, skittering about.
On the logs.
Nom, nom, nom.
But yeah, my mogul, I named my mogul Bruce.
Bruce.
Woo. Yeah, and if I ever meet up with Ellis, we can double head them, have Bruce Lee.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm disappointed.
Wow.
That's good.
Well, it's almost as close as my new name for
Oh
the
yeah, you have Mike the Mikado.
yeah.
Man,
Mike-
creativity is at a max today.
Boo. Hey, mine's creative. I couldn't think of any more southern names besides Jack. And I'm like, screw that.
Also, my fictional werewolves boxcars are partially rip-offs of real ones. Partially. I think Golden West Service is now an Ogeles name. Totally not SP.
Seems legit.
Totally not.
Totally not.
Oh, tell him about Tillamook.
Oh, yeah.
Moo.
So, you know how I've been working on the Tillamook graphs for a while now? I found the whole terrain map of it on a website, and I almost threw my desktop out a window.
Shams.
Yeah. I mean, it's good, and it will help me, but if only I knew about it when I began. That's remember, kids, look up routes before you do them.
My.
Yeah, unless you want to build a Durango and Silverton route, in which case,
Dear
No.
God.
maybe you should look that up to see
I'd do it.
to see what the lowest bar is.
Oh, don't do it. Speak of, did we ever figure out the the Google Maps to trains thing with the terrain?
There's a program.
No,
By.
I haven't. If I can figure out how to do that, I'll let you guys know.
JDur is the
Oh yeah, I
expert.
forgot about that. I meant to go check that out.
Yes.
Save my life if I was ever going to build the Troy Northeastern.
Yeah,
It's saving my life building Oregon Southern.
Or to straight
and I
up
could build something cool.
Someone make an Ohio
What do
Central.
you mean you can
deep-
build something cool?
Like, I'd probably abandon my current route and build the entirety of the DNRGW narrow gauge.
Save Juan.
I would
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, save one.
I'd save Juan.
Actually, what I always wanted to do, I just wanted to build the, I wanted to build the B and A. I wanted to build the Boston and Albany.
Yeah.
It's
Be a good one.
It's you know what's kind of funny? On the Minecraft server, which we haven't all been on in a while, you have Penn Central,
Yeah.
but my profile picture, of course, is the PRR.
Yeah.
That ain't what we're representing.
I was going to say, we are not the PRR.
We're not.
You are Carl.
It always seems kind of funny to me that I have such I have such strong ties in my head to both the PRR and the New York Central.
You are Penn Central. You are the living embodiment of Penn
I know,
Central.
but
Carl.
that's not what I want to be. Being the New
Penn
York
Central plus
being
Penn
the
Central
New York
confirmed.
Central, being the New York Central is great. Being the PRR is great. Being Penn Central, not great.
Wow.
Not so
What did we do to
great.
you?
It's
What did
like,
we do to you? Like, seriously.
what are two things that are great when apart, but terrible together?
Marshmallows and ketchup.
Penn Central and New Haven.
How
Rio
about
Grande and SP.
how about two decapods?
Two decapods. Oh dear. How about 2 years? Carl.
Old Spice and
The
Fire.
Inferno Fairly.
Inferno Farley. Oh, did we tell that story?
I think so.
Old Spice and Fire.
Old Spice.
No. Those are amazing together. You're getting it wrong.
Yeah.
That's how you build a flamethrower.
Also, Old Spice
Yeah.
is terrible by itself. Power.
The commercials are pretty great.
The commercials.
Oh, yeah.
The commercials are pretty great, but by that rate, then
Look away.
McDonald's
Look
is
back at
also
me. I'm on a
great,
horse.
which it is not.
When did McDonald's have good commercials?
They've had several over the years. Not a
Yeah,
lot.
and then
And I'm sure they've made
and then people
they-
got fat.
I'm sure they've made several good meals as well.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
They
You
used to do Dr. Boo. It's
know what else is
spaghetti.
funny? How often we hand off duties in the Iron Horseman route so far.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
by hand
yeah.
off duties, I mean give things to JDur.
Because I
Hey,
have
I
so
haven't
much.
handed off a single thing.
Thank God.
So far.
I've owned
Yeah, no,
someone-
you've adopted something.
I have actually adopted some. Yes, I did adopt some from JDur. I'm
From
the
JDur.
negative side of this.
Wait, hang on. What did you adopt from me?
Davenport.
Right. Oh yeah, you got crappy Davenport and made it better.
I still have to. I have the solemn duty of taking all the little pieces of the route and connecting them.
Have fun with that.
Oh,
I'm
I already
gonna
did it
make this-
once.
By the way, I've decided I'm not going to build the actual narrow gauge section until
Until
basically
everything
everything else is done.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. That's what I figured you were doing anyway.
For the filming of the narrow gauge stuff, I'll just do it on my own route.
Yeah.
And I'll use some of the scenes when I build the actual thing so that the camera work looks more or less consistent.
Yeah. Anyways,
Alright.
speaking of that,
But
Oh yeah.
JDur
Yeah,
is
as
definitely
always-
the one with the biggest news here.
yeah, as Ellis said, pieces of the Iron Horseman route have been handed off to certain people by certain people. He means me. First, I got the branch line from TJ because TJ's never
Because
here.
TJ died. And then
Yeah.
TBA more or less died. So, what happened was, he just got stuck with a big section of route.
Pretty much the entire eastern
You
part
got
there.
you got the coal line and the branch line.
Yeah, the eastern region is you in the northeast and then me in the southeast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Milky in the middle, but because of
In the needle.
in the middle, because of the
Milky in the middle.
because of
Oh.
Milky
Because-
in
yes,
the
no,
middle.
maybe.
Will you?
I don't know.
Anyways,
We
I
might
think
mean
what's
never
going to happen
to-
here is I'm going to
Stop.
bang out the rest of the 2-foot gauge, and in lieu of having anything else to do, I'm going to take the mountain division from Milky
because I can't gorge for
because
crap.
he can't gorge.
Yeah.
Can't gorge.
I can't even gorge.
And I'm going to see if I can adjust most of the trackage around the gorge and everything to set up, to get the Clifton Park suspension bridge to make sense.
Still think
Right.
I should do the gorge. Or
I-
the walls of it anyway.
I will do. What do you mean the wall? Just specifically the terrain?
Yeah. Or, the scenery around it.
I will
Just strictly off of the fact that I'm most...
I will gladly let you do the scenery, but
I would-
Alright.
I'm just going to be doing a lot
Yeah,
of
don't let me anywhere near the track work,
I'm
please.
going to be doing the.
Don't make the switches terrible.
Hey, I did know.
He's gotten better.
Good.
I have gotten better. I haven't messed up a single switch since then because I actually know how to make them now.
Good.
Adjusting. Why didn't you straighten this? What?
What?
Facepalm. You've got to admit some of those were pretty good for being
They were very good.
not the straightened ones, for being built incorrectly. They're pretty slick.
But
They were surprisingly well done.
Woo.
But I finished up the coal line and everything yesterday. Sent it up to Ellis.
Although
and
you pointed something in the wrong direction, but that's fine.
God damn it.
not as bad as when TBA built everything upside down.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah.
I triple checked. I nearly had a panic attack when I went to merge the 2-foot gauge with the rest of the Troy route because it put it in a position where it looked like everything was sideways, and I was like, "How did I do this?" and then
God damn it.
I just sort of moved it up a bit, and I was like, "Oh no! Here's my
You're good.
scaffolding."
You're good.
You're good. You're good.
You're good.
Oh god,
But,
I should have done that. Did you hear about the train that this is cutting back to 12 inches of the foot up there? Did you hear about the train that backed up too far?
No.
Hold on, let me see if I can get a picture of this.
Backing up. Backing up. Will you do that? I'll be right back.
Everyone's
Okay.
leaning on me.
I'm not.
Yeah, so we're probably going to be done here pretty quick.
Yeah, we are.
Save one.
Train backing into no. It was intermodal, and they just sort of accidentally drove off the end of the track and destroyed a road. This was
We might
fairly recent, like a couple days ago.
reminds me of a certain F7 from the intro to this podcast.
Yeah, except that wasn't backing up, and that wasn't a road.
Yeah.
Well, it just was.
Wow.
Reminds me of a certain GG1.
Crunch.
Pure.
Why is
What
that?
is the trunk?
Yeah. Well, so...
What? Do we have anything else to talk about here?
I
I
have one thing.
Oh yeah,
I
you
guess.
have something.
Milky, you have something. Say it.
Save one.
No.
I fixed all. I heavily modified all the sound line stuff to work. I won't call it
you didn't fix it. You modified
I'm back.
heavily modified.
it. You JDur cheated it.
Wait, what?
He cheated at getting the San Juan stuff to work. You didn't fix it. You cheated it.
When the
I
pod
know.
gave them a Weibo cab, a Weibo whistle.
No.
Fight.
Well, the bell.
Anyway, I'm still on my V scale.
No, you have something else to talk about.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
speaking of which, Ellis, did you get everything downloaded and stuff?
I bailed. Actually, I didn't finish. Whoops.
Damn it.
God damn
Well,
it.
On that note, does anybody have anything else left?
Yes, JDur does, and it is K&L.
And the
Cardboard Mountains.
Davenport Southern Railroad Company.
Oh yeah, that's your big thing.
Yeah. Because, after I sent the coal line off to Ellis, I'm like, finally, I can work on my route. So I've been terraining, and I gave the narrow gauge hub of Goldboro some TLC with the East Broadtop shops and crap that I found.
That Weibo does improve them.
Nah. It fuck's given
Wiebold's
zero.
like West Broadtop is better.
No Weast Squad top.
Weast.
I thought you said Weast. Weast. And I'm you
East
reading.
Broadtop? I thought you said West Broadtop.
Poor East Broadtop.
Oh, yeah. I really feel like that, Cumbres and Toltec or something should get some of the rolling stock, give it a good home.
We do.
Oh, they bought some of the freight cars?
Yeah.
Buy some of the
Silvertip and
Mikados.
Cumbres both have quite a few of their hopper cars.
Buy some of the Mikados.
No.
No,
They've got plenty of engine.
We've got plenty of engines already, specifically Mikados, actually.
Too much, Mike.
But you can never have enough Mikado.
No, you can't, but
Or enough 10-wheeler.
that's NDR logic right there.
I mean,
Another
you
Mikado.
can never have enough 10-wheeler.
Boy 44.
Yeah. Speaking of 10-wheeler, according to their Facebook page, K&L's PRG5 is finally being released next Friday. Woo. It
Whoa.
looks great. I'm probably going to buy it.
Foamer.
K&L Foamer.
Well, anyway, I think we're on to our
And then,
Do we have
and then
anything
on my
beyond-
road, I've been making
East
mountains out of cardboard and masking tape. Woo. And I got a
Woo.
bright boy.
You get a what?
A bright boy, so I can clean my track.
Oh.
It's very good.
Uh-huh.
Yes. My
Woo.
tunnel likes to derail trains, though. I need to fix that.
Wow.
well. Are we ready then?
Well, do we have any housekeeping?
No.
Housekeeping!
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Actually, something that may be worth mentioning is that the week before we do... Is the Train Mountain podcast actually going to line up that way? I haven't looked.
I don't know. It might be recorded ahead of time. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Either way, I'll try and release it on time. It doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah.
As we stick to the schedule. Stick to the plan, chums.
Unless the money,
Woo.
then woo.
Yeah.
It's not woo, it's woo. Because
Woo.
thanks
Blue.
for the money.
Num, 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 get a job.
That's that job suits montages.
Bing,
Every day.
ding, presser done, ding, presser done, ding, presser done, ding, presser done.
Ding on the
Well,
right. Well-
we start at the we start terminating here. We are at the end of the station. I should actually have bumped everyone down a track because, of course, on track 5 we have our invisible guest Rainbow Doge,
Right.
and,
Wow.
with an infinite number of strikes. So
Yeah.
he always goes first.
Yeah.
He always
He's
says,
that awkward pause right about now. Yeah, that one.
Good, thank you, Rainbow Doge. Anyways,
Thank you,
Wiebold,
Doge.
are you
Yeah,
ready to
no.
begin the end?
Yes. Wait, no, not yet. Okay,
Mm.
now I'm ready.
Did you have to get your fruit pastilles?
I did have to get my fruit pastilles out.
Okay.
Still indifferent to these things, guys. Like, I'm not sure. I've never been, like, recently in science class, I've been zoning out, kind of questioning the meaning of the universe and my opinion on fruit pastilles.
Wiebold, I'm the one that's supposed to be zoning out, questioning the meaning of things. That's not your job.
No, I am.
No, you're supposed to be looking for a job. JDur, what's with
Okay.
Gevos?
Gevos are like decaf coffee.
No.
What's the point?
What is the point? Milky, what's the point?
Oregon selling boxcars, that's the point. Which I will have a link to here in a moment.
Well, if anything, I would like to just say frankly, how proud I am of doing a year of the Terminus podcast so far, and also the progress that we've made on the Iron Horseman Chronicles thus far. And I can't wait until this all really starts kicking off.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, tell your friends. The Terminus podcast.